when I was in 7th grade, I had this scary teacher. He was a math teacher. His name was Mr. Van Cott. C-O-T-T is a Dutch guy. Mr. Van Cott. And everyone was scared of him because he was pretty intimidating. Big, tall dude. And they'd send all the knuckleheads to him who were like misbehaving because he'd scare the crap out of all the kids. But he taught me this formula. And back then I didn't know I was going to be a math teacher, but now I am. I wanted to be a baseball player, basketball player, but now I'm a math teacher. And I'm using the same formula I'm teaching you guys, what he taught me, 7th grader. And this formula enables me to handle any percent problem that ever comes my way. So on your notes, go to write the formula. Boom, in nice big bold letters. And put a cloud around it. This formula is going to take you for the rest of your life. Any percent problem that ever comes your way, you're going to be able to deal with it now. You're going to look smart in front of your parents, your family, your girlfriend, whatever, boyfriend. You're going to look intelligent, henceforth. And here's the formula, watch. It's going to be a proportion. That's it. There's only 4 slots to fill in the proportion. The part will be on the upper left. Whatever comes after the word of is on the lower left. The percent's on the upper right, and 100 is on the lower right, because that's what percent means. Percent means out of 100. You wrote that down yesterday. This is more powerful than meets the eye. Look at this eye. Well, whatever we'll give. It's another formula. This is powerful stuff. Let me demonstrate how powerful the power of it. Let me demonstrate the power of it. Okay, let's see. So I just want you to appreciate something. There's only 4 slots to fill. You put one thing here, one thing here, one thing here, one thing there. Actually, there's only 3 spots to fill because this is always going to be 100. So you're literally going to have 3 spaces to fill, and then it's going to be easy to solve whatever problem you're dealing with. Watch. This, and that, because that's always 100. Watch. Check this out. So go to write 1, 2, and 3. And leave some space in between because we're going to calculate each one. And as you're writing this down, you might be like, wait, they sound the same. But the wording's different, and the wording matters. But the formula that I just gave you is going to help us do every single one of these without, easily. 5 is what percent of 50? Number 2, 5% of 50 is what number? 50 of what number is 55%? It's all like the same numbers, but worded different, and it makes all the difference, and that matters. But the same formula is going to enable us to solve each one of these. It's trippy. Again, leave some space in between. When I'm reading these seem confusing. There's the same 5 and 50 keeps popping up, but the wording's all weird and like, okay, what's what? Watch this. Okay, number 1 first. I'll put number 1 in black. Okay, here we go, watch. Just gonna follow this formula. What comes after the word of here? Well, 50, look at the word of. Ah, okay, that goes right there then. Right there in the lower left. Because the word of in English is referring to the whole of something. The whole thing of something. If I said, 5 of you are going to fail my class. When I say of you, I mean the whole class. Of. Whatever comes after of is the whole of something. By the way, I'm not trying to, 5 of you are not going to fail my class. I said that to get your attention, but the word of is indicating the whole of something in English, the English language. All right, the percent's right here on the upper right. Okay, do I find a percent symbol here? Oh, there it is. But the question is, what percent? We don't know. So I already know that's going to be X. We don't know what the percent is. That's the question. So I know that's the X. That's the unknown. I know this is 100 without even thinking about it. I could teach my granddaughter that. Just put the 100 always on the bottom right. And whatever's left over is going to be on the upper left, the part. What's the part out of the whole? 5. I'm not going to solve for X yet. I'm just going to set them all up so you can see the power of the formula. The second one I'm going to do, number 2, I'm going to do in red. Watch this. Proportion. Fraction equal another fraction. I know right here 100 goes there. That's what the formula says. Because we're dealing with percentages. Percent means out of 100. Think of my burrito. I chopped into 100 pieces. All right, let's see. Let me read this puppy. So the word of. 50 again, huh? That's the total. Look at it. Do we know the percent on this one? On number 2, did they give us a percent?
5%.
There it is, 5%. Look at it. Boom! So that means in this case, the part is unknown. Interesting. Same formula. It's allowing us to solve anything that has to do with percentages. It's allowing us to maneuver and manhandle it. The last one we put in Dodger Blue. I was at the game, by the way, last night. You guys watch the game? Muncie and McKinney hit home runs. It's pretty cool. I was right there pretty close to the field, too, with my friends and my wife. Good game. I'm going to use Dodger Blue for this last one. Watch. No brainer. 100 goes here without even thinking about it. I can do that sleeping. Now I just have 3 slots to fill. Do we know the percent here on number 3?
5.
Exactly. Look, it's right there. Percent literally means out of 100. Out of 100. 5 out of 100. That's what percent means. That was a 2-minute video yesterday. Percent means out of 100. What comes after the word of? Right. The question comes after of. What number? We don't know. There's the word of. Of what? We don't know. So that's there. Look at the variables there then. And then the part is what? What's 50. Left over? 50. The 50. 50 out of what is 5%? On the second one, the red, what out of 50 is 5%? In the black, 5 out of 50 is what percent? Notice how the unknown, on number 1, the unknown was the percent. On number 2, the unknown was the part out of the whole. And on number 3, the unknown was the whole. Just by the wording, notice how the unknown changes just by the wording of the question. The rest is just, let's just solve for X. Easy. Easy sleazy. So here, number 1. So we put arrows here. I'm going to solve for X now, number 1, in black. Remember the shortcut like I showed you on my burrito example? Cross multiply. And it turns into some dirt cheap easy equation. 50 times X is 50X, unless my coffee hasn't kicked in. 5 times 100 is 500. Nice. Let's get X by itself. Divide by 50 to get X by itself. In other words, divide by the number next to the variable. See, 500 divided by 50, I want to say is, need some more coffee. I'm bad with mental math. I told you I wasn't a math major. Hit it. 10, huh? Yeah. 10. 10 what? Look at, the x is over the 100, so it's 10% in this case, is the answer. If the unknown is over 100, then the answer is the percent that we're looking for. And that's exactly what it was. Notice the way it was worded. 5 is what percent of 50? Well, it's 10%. That's what it is. Number 2 in red is not asking for the percent. They gave us a percent, but they want to know what is the part out of 50 that makes 5%. How much out of 50 is 5%? In other words, what's 5% of 50? Here we go. In red, I'll use red again. Here we go. Cross multiply. 100 times x. X times 100 is 100x. 50 times 5, I want to say is 250 if my coffee is kicked in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Divide by 100. Nice. X equals, I want to say 250, huh? 2.5. 2.5. So if you take 250 divided by 100, it's going to be 2.5. So that kind of answers the question, huh? Look at number 2. 5% of 50 is what number? Well, it's 2.5. Look at 2.5 out of 50 is the same as 5%. Think of my burrito. I ate 1/4, so that means I ate 25%. 1 out of 4 pieces. 2.5 out of 50 pieces is the same as 5 out of 100 pieces. Last but not least, let's do the number 3. Cross multiply. X times 5 is 5x. 50 times 100, I want to say is 5,000 if my coffee is kicked in. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nice. Let's divide by the number next to the variable. Because this means 5 times x, you do the opposite operation. You do the opposite of multiplication. I'm going to divide both sides by 5. Rocking and rolling. X is, I have no clue. I'll get my calculator. I'm too lazy to do that in my head. 5,000 divided by 5,000. Well, that was too easy. Why wasn't I able to do that in my head? What's the matter with me? That makes sense, huh? Isn't 50 out of 1,000, right, the same as 5%? It's the same amount of stuff, same amount of burrito. If I chopped up my burrito into 1,000 pieces and ate 50 of them, I'll have the same amount of burrito in my stomach as if I ate 5%. Last example, and you're going to do one for Padlet on your own. One more example. Let's do this one. Number 4, last example. Write that down.